Greetings and welcome to New Cloud Media. I am your host, Mike Bravo. I want to thank our partners at My Debt Cloud and welcome our guest, Jorge Valido.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Well, it's good to see you this morning. George, you're a retirement planning specialist. You've been providing your clients with financial and retirement planning services for some years across several states. And as we begin our conversation today, people are faced with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of volatility in the whole area of finance in our nation today. How are you helping people on a practical level in these current conditions?
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. It's a very volatile, very uncertain situation right now. And what we do is we help educate individuals. We typically take about 30 to 45 minutes just to go over the details of what their debts are, what the interest rates are, how they're deploying their dollars so that they can best eliminate their debts. What we're seeing is that we're able to help people out in usually paying down debt 2 to 3 times faster than what they're doing currently.
Wow, that sounds hopeful. So, how did you become involved in this field?
Well, originally I was in the life insurance and property and casualty industry. About 10 years ago, I came across my debt cloud, and they really opened my eyes as to how to eliminate debt and why it's important. So ever since then, I've been hooked on helping people eliminate their debts and help combat inflation in very meaningful ways.
Well, that's interesting and very much needed. George, can you explain how does this process work?
So first step is you meet with me. We'll spend about 45 minutes just going over the educational portion. There's a second meeting where we go over in detail your financial situation and how to remedy your concerns. And what we're doing is we're using whole life insurance not as it was intended. We're not necessarily concerned about the death benefit. We're concerned more about the cash value benefits and how that can be deployed in order to eliminate debts without any additional expenditures. Usually, 9 out of 10 of my clients are paying the same amount that they were paying before they got started as they were after they got started, but we're eliminating debts 2 to 3 times faster.
Okay, well that's encouraging because people today they want to get out from underneath that burden of debt. So in this process, for someone to be involved, is there a cost involved?
There is no cost associated with working with me. There may be a cost for certain financial products, and we're compensated by the financial institution used in order to help eliminate the individual's debts.
Okay. And is there a specific type of client that you're best able to serve? Is an age range?
Yes, you're working class Americans, typically age 27 through 67, many times with multiple debts. Sometimes it's just a mortgage, but in any case, people that are struggling with their debt but can still kind of handle it. If you're upside down, there's not much I can really do for you other than possibly refer you out to a debt consolidator. That's a completely different
Mhm.
end of the business. That's not something that I handle personally, uh, but most people will qualify and be able to eliminate their debts in half the time or better.
Okay. In your past experience, um, there's some examples of some of the types of people that you've been able to help.
So one of the individuals I was able to help was a CPA, and mind you, this is a very financially savvy individual. Uh, we were able to eliminate his mortgage in 9 years, as opposed to what he was doing, which was getting him debt free in 27 years. In
Wow.
addition to that, I know your CPA is kind of like a high end type of client. Uh, Also, I was able to help a waitress with some student loans and some credit cards and an auto loan, and she was going to be debt free in over 20 years. We were able to eliminate all of her debts in under 6 years.
Wow, that's quite a improvement. That's that would really make a difference in someone's life. So, what other types of services do you provide beyond the debt elimination program?
So I do the debt elimination. You've got also your life insurance, your retirement planning, your college planning, and in addition to that, I do everything also in Spanish. If you have individuals who are
Mhm.
not confident in Spanish or and not confident in English or don't dominate the English language, I'm able to go over everything in detail in Spanish as well.
So, as they begin this process, um, does it help people to deal with unexpected things that come up? What types of things could happen?
So
People would need some assistance with.
one of the things that is great about this plan is it'll tell you exactly when a debt will be eliminated, but there's also wiggle room in there for unforeseen circumstances. There's an emergency fund built in that it's going to alter the debt payoff schedule, but if you did have something unforeseen where you needed some cash right away, that's accessible to you in the program.
Okay. Okay. And those additional services that you provide, um, how does it assist people getting their paperwork and systems in place to protect their family?
So that's an additional service, and glad you brought that up because if something were to happen to you where you were incapacitated, would you have the proper documentation on file with your bank, your 401k provider, and all of the institutions that you do business with? 99% of the population out there, the answer is no. And we're able
Hmm.
to get that put in place for people. It's very easy and inexpensive to do, but think about if you don't have it, what does that do? It puts you under a court appointed guardianship, and court appointed, it's very, very slow. The courts move like molasses in Alaska, and there's lawyers involved. So it's really, really expensive. So
Hmm.
we're able to save people a ton of time and money just with getting those documents in order.
Well, George, those are much needed resources, and that'll have to be a topic for another conversation. So, how may people get involved today and begin accessing your services?
Best way to get involved is reaching me at mydebtcloud.com. You can also email me at validorvp@gmail.com, VALIDO RVP at gmail.com. or if you prefer phone, you can reach me at area code 786-317-4007.
Well, thank you for that, George. And thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. Today's show was sponsored in part by DeRosa and Associates. And on behalf of New Cloud Media, I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us today.